What's going on? This is Progeny with yet another video on P. Diddy. This is going to make the third video of Diddy, which is probably the longest coverage that I've ever done in my YouTube channel. And I'm happy to have y'all along with me on this journey because my god, the reason why I'm making this video is because there is some other breaking news that I want to discuss with y'all, because I know y'all are just lining up waiting for that next breaking news on P. Diddy. Y'all are just like scratching your necks like, yo, so what's going on with P. Diddy, man? So news just broke out a few days ago that the lawyer of the victims is representing 120 sexual assault lawsuits that will be filed against Sean Diddy Combs. 120 victims that are suing P. Diddy for sexual abuse or sexual assault is a very large number. Now, mind you, P. Diddy has been in the scene for quite some time. We're not talking about 5 or 10 years. We're talking about 2 decades, maybe even pushing 3 decades. So if you was to take 2 decades, you divided that by like the number of victims or anything like that, or vice versa, 120 victims divided by 20 years, that's like saying P. Diddy has sexually assaulted or sexually abused someone 6 times every year. Or if you really want to break it down, that's like saying he raped or sexually assaulted somebody once every 2 months. Like that is like P. Diddy might as well just be a serial rapist at this point, and it's absolutely disgusting the moment you dive in. So let's get right into this article real quick, because this is going to be a rather short video that we're going to be talking about. Sean Diddy Combs is set to face lawsuits from more than 100 people on allegations of sexual abuse and sexual assault. Texas-based lawyer Tony Busby announced the pending civil lawsuits during the press conference Tuesday. The attorney revealed he's representing 120 accusers who are bringing allegations of violent sexual assault or rape, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, dissemination of video recordings, and sexual abuse of minors against the embattled music mogul, among other offenses. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors, Busby said. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. Busby added, it's a long list already, but because of the nature of this case, we are going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name are names that will shock you. This new wave of legal action follows Combs' September arrest and subsequent arraignment for sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges. The rapper, who has maintained his innocence amid the avalanche of civil lawsuits alleging sexual and physical abuse over the past year, remains in custody at the Special Housing Unit at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. If you saw my previous video on the whole P. Diddy fiasco, you saw that we were covering names that were brought up like Usher, Kevin Hart, Justin Bieber, even J-Lo, Leonardo DiCaprio, and many other celebrities that may or may not have anything to do with P. Diddy, other than the fact that they just took photos or they were caught at one of his parties, and that's about it. The lawyer for the victims that are suing P. Diddy for sexual assault and sexual abuse is now saying that there is a long list of names and these names will shock you. It's enough to rile up the entire internet, and I'm pretty sure the internet is going to do a lot of deep digging here. We covered this in the previous video. P. Diddy is a very powerful person. He's not just a rapper. He is an entrepreneur. He's a Mongol. He is a businessman. And he's been that businessman for well over 20 years. Being a person of such power and wealth, of course you're going to be coming across multiple celebrities. May they be from Hollywood, may they be from the music industry, and even across politicians like Eric Adams. It's not shocking that P. Diddy will come across certain people that you would never expect, because P. Diddy just simply has that influence. And at the end of the day, rich people are going to hang out with rich people all the time for numerous reasons. And it doesn't have to always involve a party. Like, I don't understand why people think that anytime celebrities gather together in one group, there always has to be some sort of party going on. The cases brought by 60 men and 60 women span incidents going as far back as 1991, Busby said. 25 of the accusers were minors when they were allegedly assaulted by Combs. When you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking, Busby said. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14, and we have one who was 15. Combs' legal team denied any false and defamatory claims made against him. That is a wild thing to say. about P. Diddy. Not to say that I don't believe the lawyer or anything like that, or I'm like, oh, this is extreme. Like, P. Diddy would never do something like that. I just find it crazy because hearing about this whole situation, it's like you took the freakiness of R. Kelly and his talents and the power and influence of Harvey Weinstein, and you just combined it together and you have P. Diddy. And it's disgusting, but it's horrid to hear things like that and to hear that P. Diddy is capable of doing something that deplorable as what the prosecutor, is saying about P. Diddy. As Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus, Combs' attorney Erica Wolf said in an emailed statement to USA Today Tuesday. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. Busby previously announced his law firm will pursue claims against Combs on Saturday in an Instagram post, adding that many were minors when the alleged incident took place. This group of brave individuals include both men and women. Many were minors when the abuse occurred. Some of these brave individuals reported the incidents to the police, others did not, Busby wrote. Which is pretty wild that you think about it, because if P. Diddy was fucking around the way that he was for the past 2 decades, and there are only 120 victims, you can only imagine how many victims are out there that are not reporting this to the police. 120 isn't like the total number of people that P. Diddy did wrong. There are many more, they're just not stepping up. And that is definitely a heartbreaking thing to hear. Each individual story is gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. The acts complained of occurred at hotels, private homes, and also at the infamous P. Diddy freak-off parties. The violation against this group of individuals are mind-boggling and can only be described as debauchery and depravity exacted by the powerful people against minors and the weak. Busby's Texas law firm has represented victims in high-profile cases before, including the July lawsuit leveled against R&B singer Chris Brown. He also represented 22 women who sued the Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson during his time in Houston and accused him of sexual misconduct during a massage sessions from early 2020 to March of 2021. So the lawyer that's prosecuting P. Diddy is not new to this whole rodeo. This may probably be the biggest case this prosecutor has ever done, but they're not strangers to this whole situation. Now, I do want to reiterate this. This is 120 counts of sexual assault and sexual abuse cases. I'm pretty sure P. Diddy is going to be found guilty in at least one of these, but I'm also just as confident that P. Diddy is also going to be found innocent in other lawsuits that he may be facing. So with that said, no matter where this goes, may you hate him or support him or whatever, this is going to be a rather bittersweet situation. Even if P. Diddy was found guilty in, say, 60 of those cases. Let's be fair. Let's say P. Diddy was found guilty in 60 of the cases out of the 120. Sure, you have 60 victims that now have their justice because he's now being held accountable for those 60 cases. But now you have 60 other cases that he's been found innocent in. And those 60 victims did not get their justice. And that in itself is already a heart-wrenching thing to hear. But until then, guys, that's really all I have for y'all. Peace.